All right, welcome to the Explainer. Ever wonder how an app can instantly pull up your profile from a sea of millions? Well, it's not magic, it's actually a language, and today we're going to demystify it for you. We're talking about how you can speak directly to your data.
You know, databases hold just about everything these days, from user profiles to product inventories. But you can't just ask it in plain English, hey, show me the top-selling stuff. You've got to use a special language, a really precise way to frame your request so the database knows exactly what you're after.
In that language, it's called SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language. Now I know, structured query language sounds kind of intimidating, right? But honestly, it's way more logical than you might think. It's less about complicated coding and more about, well, learning how to ask a perfect, super clear question. So let's see how it actually works.
Okay, so where do you actually write this stuff? Not in a Word doc, that's for sure. You're basically going to find yourself in one of two main spots, and they each serve a totally different purpose. So when you're just starting out, you're going to live in what's called a sandbox. Think of it like a playground, right? A safe space like the Superbase SQL editor, where you literally can't break anything important. You type something in, you get an immediate result, and that's how you learn, fast. The real-world stuff, putting SQL inside a live application, that all comes later. Trust me on this one, you always want to start in the sandbox.
And getting started in that sandbox, it's just so simple. You just log in, you find the SQL editor, you type what you want to ask, and you click Run. And bam! The results pop up right away. That instant feedback, that loop right there is the absolute secret to getting good at this.
All right, let's get to the good stuff. What are the actual words you use? What's the vocabulary? To make this all just click, I've got this great analogy that I love to use.
I want you to imagine you're at a restaurant, okay? But your waiter is, let's just say, extremely literal, like a robot waiter. You can't just mumble the usual and expect him to get it. Nope, you have to be super specific. You have to name the exact dish, tell him which menu it's on, and list out every single one of your special requests. SQL works in exactly the same way. It needs that same level of crystal clear instruction.
Okay, first up is the command select. This is you telling that robot waiter what dishes you want. You can ask for specific things, which in database speak are columns, so things like username or rating. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, you can just say, select everything. That little asterisk means just give me everything you've got. Okay, next up, you need the from command. This tells the waiter where to get the food from. Which menu are we talking about? The lunch menu? The dinner menu? In SQL, these menus are called tables. So, if you want info about your customers, you'd say from customers. Simple as that. Every single request has to have a source. And now we get to my favorite part, the where clause. Honestly, this is where the magic really happens. These are all of your special requests. The no onions, the extra spicy, the dressing on the side. This one little word lets you sift through potentially millions of records to find exactly the ones you need. This clause is what makes SQL an absolute powerhouse.
And you can get so specific with these requests. You can ask for an exact match, like a rating equals 70, or maybe a comparison, like a rating greater than or equal to 90. You can even do cool stuff like match text, like show me all the usernames that start with the letter A. And you can stack them up. You can use AND to say I need this condition and this other one to be true, or you can use OR to say either this one or that one is fine.
And last but not least, order by. This is basically you telling the waiter how you want your food brought to the table. Do you want it sorted by price? Maybe alphabetically. The default is always ascending, A to Z, 1 to 10, but if you want to flip that, just add the little keyword DESC and it'll sort it descending from highest to lowest.
Okay, so we've seen all the different parts of the menu, all the individual commands. Now let's actually put it all together and place a full, complete order with our robot waiter.
Right, so we'll start simple. We select the two things we're interested in, the username and the rating, and then we tell the database where to get them from the customer's table. That's it. That's our basic request.
But wait, that query would give us every single customer in the whole database. We want to be more specific, so let's add our special request using where.
We'll say we only want customers where the country is Australia and their rating is 80 or higher. See that? Now our results are getting way more focused.
And for the final flourish, the cherry on top, we add order by rating DESC. This just tells the database, hey, when you bring me that data, please sort it by the rating, with the highest one at the top. And that little semicolon at the end, that's just like pushing your menu aside and saying, that's all, my order is complete.
And boom, look at the result. It's a perfect, clean little table. It's only got customers from Australia and only the ones with a rating of 80 or more. And, just like we asked, it's sorted with the highest rated customer right there at the top. We got exactly what we asked for. No more, no less.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? We've just watched how you can go from having a kind of vague question in your head to getting a very precise, data-backed answer. And here's the most important thing to remember. SQL is not about being some kind of elite master coder. It's really about learning how to think with a little bit of structure. It's just a system for asking really clear questions so you can get really clear answers. You already know how to think logically. SQL just gives you the vocabulary to speak the database's language.
So we're going to leave you with this one thought. You now have the fundamental key to unlock pretty much any data set you can find. The real power isn't in memorizing the words select or from. The real power is in the amazing new questions you're now able to ask. So, what questions are you going to answer?